hate yourself?
Why am I so bad at every single thing? Why are other people so successful?
Life is so hard. One trigger, it might just... Remember, the only one that can save yourself is you yourself, nobody else. Hey guys, it's been a long time since last time I'm standing here talking to you guys. And what exactly happened was I got really depressed the past 2 months. And I couldn't really function well. Yeah, it was a very hard time. But now, as you guys can see, obviously I'm getting better. So now I just want to share with you guys some of the strategies or ways that worked for me. So first, running. Aerobic exercises have an antidepressant effect. I hated running for my entire life. It just doesn't feel good. Like even back then when I was in a swimming team, I was a swimmer. Supposedly I should be better on those kind of aerobic exercises, right? But no, running is like an exception for me. I was so bad at it. I think my cardiovascular system just wasn't built for it. But then 2 weeks ago, I was super depressed and a lot of time I just couldn't breathe. You know, that kind of agonizing feeling and the breathlessness. Sometimes there's no actual trigger, but all of a sudden I was super anxious. So that time I went for a night run and immediately I felt so much better. The effect is acute, like even just one single session of exercise means if you feel anxious, just go for a run, but you have to make sure it is intense enough. You can't just stop once you feel that kind of your brain is telling you to stop, but that's actually not your limit. You have to push through a little bit of your limit. If you overcome that, you're gonna feel so much better. This is kind of a sense of accomplishment, no matter how busy I am. And now I run every 1 to 2 days. This is really, really helpful. Trust me, go for a run. I used to like hide inside my room and I don't want to go outside. I don't want to see other people, but then that's kind of very bad for ourselves, no matter physically or mentally. There are a lot of studies showing that for depressed individuals, if you go out of your door, take a deep breath of the fresh air, you feel so much better. Because human beings are a group of social animals that we need each other's companion. If you really don't feel like going out, because I mean this is a big step to take, try to do some mild workout at home at least. Because it is scientific proven that sedentary lifestyle is associated with high depression rate and many more other undesirable psychological effects. And if you're physically inactive, there are many more detrimental impacts to your physical health, which may eventually lead to mental problems. Number 1 rule, do the most important and urgent thing first. And I'm still learning and trying on this strategy because this is really hard, and ordinary people we just want to be lazy, you know, laying down on the bed and don't feel like doing anything. I mean, that's okay if that's for 1 to 2 days, but if that lasts for more than a month, 2 months, that's not okay. So instead of writing down a to-do list, try to write a wish to-do list. In that sense, you're giving yourself less pressure, and if you are able to finish them, you did more than you expected, and then you have to reward yourself. You're gonna feel so much happier because you did more than you expected. It's always expectation versus reality. Like when your expectation is too high, and then reality usually be like here, you're gonna be super disappointed of yourself. If you shift your expectation slightly below, and the reality is like more or less the same. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel so much better. And if you have very high standard of yourself, you're just gonna be super, super down on the rest of your life. You have to find a balance for yourself, for your mental health. This is kind of a trick to kind of, you know, deceive yourself, but still, like, this is very important. You can't live without letting you are super harsh to yourself. It's a lot of tension and pressure here. So one trigger, it might just have a mental breakdown at some point of your life. Another very crucial thing is that you have to find your own way to de-stress. What I mean is figure out the best way for yourself. Because for somebody, maybe binge watching TV shows or dramas work the best for them, but that might not be working for you. Me, I used to binge watch TV shows for like 3 days straight to like distract myself from my sadness and kind of really bad feeling. But then because when I watch them, when I start a drama, I don't stop after 1 to 2 episodes. I have to finish the whole thing, like the whole fucking thing. All 3, 4, 5 seasons, I have to finish them all. So I'll go on like a week without sleep So sleep is very important for your mental health as well. So when you don't have enough sleep, you just feel irritated on every single thing. You just can't function daily. Like you lose yourself. So that was my case. At that moment when I was watching the shows, it feels better. The consequences are even worse. I use this method to retreat from the reality that of all those responsibility that I don't want to face them. I just use this way to indulge myself. So I was procrastinating, and that didn't do any good for me, because even though I felt okay at that moment when I was watching those TV shows, deep down I know that I still have those tons of work waiting for me. And the longer I procrastinated, the worse that I feel. So in that sense, you're going to be more stressed, and more stressed. My inner self knows this is not the solution. So I was low-key stressed, so stressed deep down, but then I don't want to do anything. So the stress and depression is kind of like accumulating, and it's like a snowball that keeps growing bigger and bigger. And then at the end, at the point, it's just avalanche. So your performance might also go down because of your mental status, and you fucked up another thing. You feel even worse of yourself. You're gonna tell yourself that, oh, I was just taking a rest. But no, honey, you're just procrastinating. So if you are very depressed because you have some problems there, try to solve them instead of ignoring them, because it's gonna keep haunting you. It's not gonna go away, and at the end of the day, you're just gonna burst and then you break down. But that problem is still there. You haven't solved it. To all of you that you hate yourself, that means that you want to be better. You don't compromise. You don't like present self because you know you can do better. And that's actually not a bad sign. The point is, how can you do better? How can you not give up? Do not set goals that are too big. Because of course we want to be better, but if you're already in a slum, you hit your lows, and you're already in a worse situation and condition than the normal daily you, why do you think that you can have a bigger improvement than when you were in a better condition? Because that doesn't make sense. Next, step by step. Having a big goal resolutions are great, but then if you are feeling like you are already suffering from achieving those goals, split it down. Small pieces and pieces of tasks that you can finish. Because that goal may be too abstract for you. Those are too fake. And it feels so far away from you, and no matter how hard you try, you feel like you're just 1,000 miles away from your goal. And this is not going to be helpful. It's just going to frustrate you, and you may give up. The secret of step by step is that these are feasible and reachable goals that you can actually achieve in a shorter period of time. And then you're going to feel the sense of accomplishment, and you got better because you don't want to let the effort that you put yesterday to go wasted. Then you will be more disciplined, and then you can level up yourself and set a bigger goal, and a bigger and bigger. The thing is, don't start from 0 to 100. This is not going to work. Remember, consistency is the most crucial, paramount thing at the end of the day. You know what's common in successful people? It's not like they don't fail. It's they're consistent in trying, keep trying and trying, and they're not giving up. They fail like 200, 300, 3,000 times because you only know them when they're successful. You know, there's a saying of actualization. If you keep telling yourself one thing and then eventually you're going to believe it, and then you thought you can do it, so then you do it and then you succeed. That's the story, which might be true. At least this is like a psychological effect. And human minds are easily deceived. And you keep telling yourself, why are you so bad? Oh my god, you're such a loser, then you're going to be a loser. If you're using this trick all the way in your entire life, you're going to be sadder and sadder when you grow older. Another time that you just can't think positively, like all thoughts in your mind are pessimistic, and you need others' help. Find some people that you can trust and then tell them your story, your suffer. It's like a rant, you know. But then you have to be careful of who you are choosing, because some friends nowadays, very likely they're not meaning to harm you. But in some cases, it's just gonna do the same detrimental effects on you without you even noticing. And it's not their intention. Of course, they want to help you and they want to, you know, be a listener. But if you're like ranting how bad your life is, and then they're like agreeing, oh yeah, I agree, your life is super bad, you're super unlucky, and yeah, you're such a failure, I agree with you. And then, you know, the more you listen to those kind of comments and feedbacks, you really believe that what they said, and even you said it first, but if somebody is like repeating and emphasizing, you're gonna feel even worse of yourself. So remember who you chose to talk to. Find someone that is not gonna, just do those kind of things. And if you feel like you don't have anyone that you can trust or can like avoid that kind of effect that I just mentioned, trying to find some professionals that may gonna help. I mean, it's like when you're sick, you go to the doctors, right? When you get a cold, you go see a doctor. So if your mental well-being is not okay, you just go to seek psychologists or psychiatrists, and there's nothing wrong with that. Very often we feel anxious because we put too much attention on the outcome. We care about the results too much, and then we ignore all the stuff that was happening during the process. And by that sense, you're only a slave to yourself, and you're gonna be sad your entire life until you thought you reached that point. But then you know what? When you reach that goal that you set for yourself, if you're like ignoring all the process and stuff, you're just gonna feel lonely at the end because you find no more meaning of life anymore after succeeding that, after reaching that point. So what you can do is find something enjoyable, find something you really like. You are not only aiming for that result. Do you think it worth if you suffer your entire life to that one little point of your life? Remember, the only one that can save yourself is you yourself, nobody else. Everyone in the world can just not trust you, but you can't lose your confidence for yourself. You may have very good friends or your partners or family, but all they can do is giving you emotional support or telling you this and that, tell you some jokes or give you some advice. But at the end of the day, this is you, this is your life. You have to come out of that gray, sad zone yourself. No matter what people say, it's your own choice. You are only gonna get better when you yourself, you process things and finally you just, oh, you wake up. And exercising is really helpful. Well, that's what I want to share with you guys. I hope you might find some of the points useful. Nothing in life lasts long. No matter happiness or sadness. The only constant in life is change. So trust yourself that you're going to be better soon. See you guys next time. Bye.